In this video we're going to be talking about setting the MIDI range and why you might want to do it. So for this example I'm using a force sensor that is going to be mapped to the filter cutoff in Track to Scratch. As you can see, the force sensor starts at 0, goes up to the maximum, and when we release it returns back to 0. So if we look at the filter over here, we can see that its default position is all the way at the bottom. Now very often we won't want the filter to be all the way at the bottom because the normal amount is somewhere in the middle here where we can hear the dry signal. So ideally we'd like to be able to let go of the force sensor and have it snap back to the 0 amount in the middle of the filter. You can do this very easily in the software by simply setting the set min box here to halfway up the MIDI out. You can see now the filter now rests at 0, and as we press the sensor it goes all the way up to the top and upon releasing snaps back to 0. When you set the maximum and minimum points of the MIDI out, you can select how you want to affect this with the sensor on the scale and limit MIDI section. The default setting is scaled when this checkbox is selected. What this means is the whole range from the sensor input that you've set at the beginning, from the minimum to the max, will be mapped to the whole range of the grey area. So for example, having the sensor off will cause the output to be the minimum of the MIDI out. And as we bring it in, it gradually increases all the way up the range. So you use the full sensor range to control the full MIDI out. However, when we select limited, it takes a more simplistic approach. So as we bring it up, we notice that this MIDI out does not change until we get into the grey area. This essentially just puts a limit on the original scaling.